I stand here looking out the window at the brilliant lights of the San Francisco Bay Area. Those winding trails of light are not just a consumption of electricity. They represent a social order, a legal framework, and a financial system that has operated with extreme stability for hundreds of years. Recently, I have spent a great deal of time reviewing community feedback and listening to your voices. I hear anxiety, anger, and sometimes deep confusion. Many are asking, Dr. Fan, wasn't the original intent of cryptocurrency, decentralization, wasn't it meant to escape the invisible hand and the control of the powerful? Why are we implementing such a complex KYC? Why are we proactively reaching out to embrace regulation? Isn't this a betrayal of our ideals, a surrender to power? Family, I deeply understand these emotions. Everyone who ventures into the world of blockchain has the pursuit of freedom and the longing for equality flowing in their veins. That sense of heroic individualism, the idea that I am the sole master of my wealth, was once the lighthouse we all followed. But today, I want to peel away the radical slogans and show you the underlying logic of how the real world actually functions. I want to tell you this: compliance has never been a surrender to power. It is the only ticket for cryptocurrency to enter the age of discovery. If we do not take this path, all technical innovation will remain nothing more than a self-indulgent carnival on an isolated island, forever unable to reach the shores of modern civilization. First, so-called power is essentially the maximum consensus of civilized society. As a sociologist, I ask you to step beyond a purely technical perspective and look at governments and laws from the height of social evolution. Throughout the long span of human history, the word power has not always represented oppression. More often, it represents the hard consensus reached by a civilized society to prevent falling into total chaos. Without laws, your property could be taken by force at any moment. Without rules, the cost of social transactions would become so high that trade would grind to a halt. While the modern financial system has its flaws, the credit endorsement it provides is the lubricant that keeps the global economy running. If you want a digital currency to be more than a toy for geeks, if you wanted to allow an ordinary person to buy bread at a supermarket, a young student in Nigeria to pay for university, or a multinational trade giant to settle oil contracts, then it must enter the vast network woven by global laws, treaties, and protocols. Rules are a two-way street. If you reject the rules will unhesitatingly reject you. Look back at Bitcoin. It was born in 2009, like a sharp dagger, cutting through the dullness of the old financial system. We respect Satoshi Nakamoto because he blazed a trail. But more than 10 years have passed, and Bitcoin is still viewed by many sovereign states as a speculative commodity or even a dangerous gray tool. Why? Because it was too arrogant. It tried to take away all monetary power without revealing its identity or proving who I am to the social order. This confrontational logic destined it to remain a digital gold for collection rather than the blood flowing through everyone's daily life. We in the Pi network have chosen a fundamentally different path. We do not seek violent destruction. We seek integration and evolution. We proactively embrace compliance because we profoundly understand true freedom is never the reckless disregard for the law, but the free flow of value under the transparent protection of rules. Second, why is compliance mandatory? It is to protect the asset security of Pioneer's family. Have you ever wondered why those coins that advocate for absolute anonymity and zero regulation are so often accompanied by money laundering, extortion, scams, and black market industries? Without compliance, the cryptocurrency world is a dark forest with no police and no law. In this forest, capital whales can use information gaps to manipulate market prices at will, and top-tier hackers can shamelessly plunder your digital wallet. As an ordinary person, if you encounter injustice, you would face the despair of having no place to complain and no legal recourse. We are building a globally inclusive financial network, not a paradise for criminals. The necessity of compliance is built on three pillars: preventing malicious harvesting and contamination by black money, the anti-money laundering, AML, and counter-terrorist financing, CFT, measures required by regulators, protect world safe, tie on a macro level, but on a micro level, they protect our Pi network from being instantly overwhelmed by massive flows of illicit funds. Without this defense, once large amounts of black money enter, our ecosystem would immediately become a slaughterhouse for speculators. And the ones most hurt would always be the ordinary pioneers who worked hard to click the lightning bolt. By ensuring the authenticity of humans, our KYC has filtered out tens of millions of AI bots and fake accounts. Family, imagine if a network were full of machines merely inflating numbers. The chips you have worked so hard to mine over the years would become meaningless in the face of real-world value. Compliance is breathing a real soul into every single pie, giving it the support of true purchasing power. Opening the outlets for funds. This is the most practical point. Without compliance, when you want to exchange your pie for fiat currency in the future to improve your family's life, purchase property, or invest in a business, the banking system will freeze your accounts without hesitation. Tax and legal authorities will interrogate you like a criminal regarding the source of your funds. Our current persistence in these seemingly tedious processes is so that, one day, you can stand tall and enjoy this wealth openly, proudly, and legally. Third, compliance is the path to mainstream value and a trillion-dollar ecosystem. Please look up and observe the current global trends. From the recently passed MiCA markets in crypto assets legislation in Europe to the digital asset frameworks being built by every major economy, the world is undergoing a great alignment of the crypto world. A project that is non-compliant, opaque, and refuses to accept regulation will have no place on the future financial map. We must understand that a great project's value cannot be realized solely through community members transferring funds to one another. It must attract mainstream institutional investors. Those massive pension funds, insurance funds, and multinational trade giants manage the livelihood assets of millions. They will never put a single cent into an unidentified, legally vague digital black hole that could be banned at any moment. The vision of Pi from day one has been to become a globally used, peer-to-peer, everyday currency. This means, if we are not compliant, the World Bank and various central banks will never include us on their partnership lists. Fine if we are not compliant. Large-scale chain merchants, like StarMax, restricted by financial auditing compliance, will never dare to integrate our payment interface. If we are not compliant, we will be forced to wander in the shadows and on the fringes, never truly entering the daily expenses of thousands of households. We want 19 million pioneers to be able to conduct every transaction in the bright sunlight. We want Pi to become a legal carrier of value recognized by laws and protected by the sovereignty of nations worldwide. Just like the US dollar, the euro, or gold. This is a massive ambition, and this ambition must have compliance as its most solid foundation. Lastly, I want to say one more thing. Dancing the most beautiful steps on the edge of the rules family. Nicholas and I have never forgotten our original intention. We chose the SCP protocol instead of POW because we believe that a low-energy, environmentally friendly consensus is what aligns with the ethics of future society. We chose the world's most rigorous social KYC system because we are building an immutable global credit network composed of real human beings. Compliance is not weakness. It is a form of supreme survival wisdom. It is not the finish line. It is the cross-sea bridge we are building between the existing old civilization and the future digital civilization. Those projects that are still mocking us for being not pure enough or not decentralized enough will, as the regulatory wave arrives, often fall under the siege of the law and vanish into the dust of history. But we, under the transparent protection of the rules, are moving steadily, resolutely, and in unison toward 2026. Please believe that every process we go through today, every compliance report we submit, and every technical iteration we polish is to ensure that every chip you hold in your hand possesses an unshakable and sacred legal status on the future world financial stage. At this turning point of the era, do not lose the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to change your destiny because of a one-sided misunderstanding of the rules. The road is long, but we will arrive if we keep walking. Thank you, everyone. I am always with you.